Protagonist Saito, a locksmith. He had to be absolutely focused, or else he would trigger the dungeon's traps. The group successfully opened the door, but unexpectedly discovered there was another door inside. Because Mr. Morlock said there was a layer of magic in this door. Finally the group successfully entered, reached the treasure. He resumed his work of cracking. Currently Saito has successfully cracked the treasure hidden in the dungeon. Suddenly in there was a monster. Rielza a sword to see off the monster. Noticing that the helmet was broken, Saito asked her to give it up so I could repair it. Behind the heavy armor was a girl with a scar on her face. While waiting for Saito to repair his helmet, Rielza chatted with him. When she was very happy, she suddenly remembered that her face was not beautiful and was embarrassed. The Saito group took a break after the expedition. The levels of the members are as far apart as heaven and earth, between tall and short people. Mr. Morlock can be considered as one of the top magicians in the world. Although his level is really high, he suffers from severe dementia. Although he looks very retarded, Mr. Morlock also has good grades. Rielza died once. He dragged her to the ground, then he sold all his items to revive her. His old back hurt, and he was treated by Lafa. Although they are teammates, every time she finishes, she collects money. Carrying a convenient new briefcase, Lafa was delighted and asked for a fee. But Saito didn't take it. Instead, he wanted her to heal Mr. Morlock. Looking at Saito, I feel that he is a person with an honest heart. In his spare time, Saito brought out the unit of length on Earth to introduce. Unlike the Earth, the unit of length in the other world is called Medela. According to Mr. Morlock, once upon a time, Medela was a king the size of his penis. Then use it as a unit for measuring the height of one Medela equivalent to 30 centimeters. This is the most powerful dwarven mage of the tribe. Every time he fought, the surroundings were filled with fire and blood. However, no matter how strong you are, you cannot fight loneliness. The man who was eating this much is named Jibo in another team, and this girl is also in that team named Lisa. Returning to Saito, he was praised by Mavina for using the abacus. Here is a prop shop, everything is sold, as long as there is money. A customer with armor appeared. The girl in iron armor wanted to buy some herbs. Dressed like that, but still revealing her identity, she tried to deny it. A few days later, inside the prop shop, there was a scam business. This young man brought the sword he found in the dungeon to successfully sell it to Mavina, earning 18 gold coins with a little trick. Moreover, she also criticized the girl in this prop shop as the type that is easy to trick. Back to the Saito expeditions, nearly killed by monsters, Mr. Morlock once again forgot the spell. Fortunately, Rielza saved the team. Saito asks him to teach him magic. Leave that matter out and then count on a large monster swarm that suddenly appeared. Rielza dashed forward, fiercely swinging his sword to destroy a group of monsters. But their number was too great. Mr. Morlock suggested burning the spell alive with fire. As soon as he finished speaking, immediately the wand in his hand accumulated energy, and Saito reminded the magician. This causes the monsters to die. After this victory, Saito feels very happy that he can help people. The result of this expedition was the treasure chest in front of him. Everyone advised him to leave, because this room was forbidden to use magic. Saito didn't hear the ending. He fell into the trap. Luckily, there was water down there. At this moment, he regretted that because of his greed, he almost lost his life. However, his left leg was broken. He cried out in pain. Actually, he was hired to unlock it. He despaired because he thought no one would save him. Fortunately, there was a flashlight left by Saito, so the group was able to find it here. He didn't think people would come to save him. Since this incident, the team has become more cohesive. A few days later the team encountered a monster. Mr. Morlock said, Rielza is obsessed with animals with human mucus. With the help of fellow Saito successfully killed the monster. Returning to the Saito prop shop to borrow some needles for assassins, in addition to unlocking, he also has a knack for cooking. People only know that what is in front of their eyes looks delicious. Mr. Morlock and Rielza enjoy. It's very good. Rielza is psychologically obsessed with those with mucus, so she doesn't dare to eat. Did you just ignore the food that Saito cooks like that? Later she ate it all. Today, the sentry team came across a treasure chest. After careful consideration, he decided to quit. They got to the chest with the ropes, and then he cut the rope by mistake. The trigger trap ending melted Rielza's armor. This girl's name is Ali, and she can't use magic. She still slays monsters as usual. The person who just treated Ali's wounds is the ninja missionary who knows she is not good, so she always tries her best to help. In fact, she did it on purpose. NIA deliberately let Ali get injured and gradually became her own. Whenever she infused healing magic, she had a very pleasant feeling. In a certain country, there were traders who came to ask the minister to hand over the treasure. A few days later, the king returned, surrounded by a pile of stone statues. This is a newly appointed knight to replace the position of a trader general. Due to the lack of talented people, the king took advantage of Mara. Back to the Saito group, Mr. Morlock old disease relapsed back pain. People advised Lafa to treat him as she refused because he ran out of money. After a while of negotiation, because it is not the owner who pays, the other person will pay twice as much. Saito wondered why Lafa was greedy for money, so he told him to follow him. The gold in front of eyes belongs to Lafa, it has evaporated. Lafa belongs to the Moonlight Elves race, that is the race cursed by the moon goddess. On the night of the full moon, they had to pay tribute, or their bodies would shrink. Although he really needs money, Lafa hates being given money the most. Saito is also quite smart, he asked Lafa to bless him to have a reason to pay. Despite receiving a blessing from Lafa, Saito still opened the teleport trap. Saito in this case he felt so useless. If Morlock is here then fine. He was thinking when suddenly Rielza stopped moving. The reason was very simple because in front of the two appeared a monster. Immediately entered combat readiness and told him to run away. She charged forward with a preemptive strike aimed at the weakest points of the monster's body, but it was too strong. She was still trying to tell Saito to run first. The too strong monster Rielza could do nothing but defend. Saito climbed on top of the monster that attacked it. The monster fell into a state of gradual melting. Saito used the same liquid that melted Rielza's armor. Although the monster was weak, before it died it dragged him with it. At this moment, Saito wished he could come back to life. Suddenly she suddenly remembered that she had the water of life, the kind of healing potion. Saito had regained consciousness.